We'll see how it goes, I guess, as we are into the action.
Endpoint, isn't he?
Here on Cash. There you go. Well, that's my bad. It sounded like CT, but it was quite, yeah.
Let's see how it goes, though. I think it's the ultimate thing, right? The first, like, 5 rounds or so were pretty solid for Endpoint. They did some good strats, everything like that. They were just quite unfortunate, but then it just got out of hand. I think Surreal took over the show. And this pistol's very similar to what the Pensioners actually had. So the one Molotov comes through. You're not going to expect 2 players towards MBK there.
No, you really shouldn't. And it just works like a bit of a firing range, Ben. They're being able to battle them down. It is pretty much blow for blow, though. But Fraser giving them the big advantage with a hat-trick of frags that he's been able to connect on. And it all comes down to AVN.
That's a good start for the game for Fraser. He's normally quite one of those players, very similar to people like Boaster I'd normally put in. If he starts off strong, he can get going, and that confidence starts flowing through him, and he takes more risks. And he is a skilled player when he does get a chance, like, a chance to shine, right?
He needs a big start to really motivate him.
Now look at that buy from London. 4 MP9s, and the 1 org on Fraser, obviously because of all that money he did get through the kill rewards. So it's worth noting the circumstances, obviously. I might as well use it from this game onward here. So if Endpoint were to win, regardless if they win, and no matter what the other result is, they'll get second in the group at highest. Like, that's the guarantee. If they were to win, lose, they could potentially go 3rd or 4th. It'll only be 3rd if Revelation beat Pensioners at the end of the day. So they could be in with a chance where if they lose the game, they may be wondering, they'll have to watch that last game of the day and wonder, are we in relegations or not? Yeah. Which is a horrible thing to experience.
You don't want to leave it up to another team to decide your fate in the group.
Yeah, it's like, Super Sunday, end of the season, Premier League. You're there watching Norwich thinking, if we win, we stay up. And we lose 6-0 at Craven Cottage in 2005. Horrible.
Well, that was a rough day, Ben.
It was. I went outside and kicked the ball against the wall for a good half hour.
That's what Mighty Max will be doing tonight.
Yeah, maybe. That made them do as much as I thought it would, all things considered. Like, there's a few players over boost there. The question is, how much of a crunch is going to be coming from this? Will they Molotov? Actually, I was going to say, will they Molotov? They don't have any Molotovs. It's a very light buy from Endpoint here. However, the B player's in. But Link, how does he get that kill? And that's a team kill for Impulse as well. Impulse gets taken down the vent as well. 2v3 already. Mighty Max and Impulse looking to save the day. And Max, maybe this is going to be another Cash Max game.
Yeah, potentially so. He always does tend to step up when he needs to on Cash. He can have a couple of Mighty Max rounds here and there. 1v2. Nade's being chucked out towards it. Max?
That's a HE! What's going on, Max?
Oh, no.
I don't know what to think. He's dropped a HE at his own feet and had to run away from it.
He's done the Sean Gares there. He's opened the door, dropped it, closed the door.
But sadly, there was no door to close, so he's just taking damage regardless.
Yeah, it was not.
And there is a pause, so maybe Max has had to calm down. A bit rattled, as he does do the rattlesnake with the clock.
Yeah, it is the Endpoint tactical pause as well, so maybe they are going to be having a bit of a discussion.
I think the crazy thing is, for that round, it could have gone very different, right? If Link doesn't get that first kill, when he spins around on top of the white box outside, like, B. Yeah. If he doesn't get that kill, the round is very different, in my mind. But the fact he gets that kill, they nearly recover it, obviously. But ultimately, if you're London, you're thinking we had 4 MP9s and an AUG. We've still won the round and actually kept 2 guns alive as well. Like, a very good situation for them. I believe it was a half buy that Endpoint were committing to. Only the 1 smoke in play there, so wondering what will be done with that. Max is heading towards B. I think we saw this happen last week. I was going to say it was last week, but they had 3 people. Did he just throw that? That grenade looks very weird. Yeah. But I thought he dropped it like close.
Yeah, it seemed like it went quite low down to the ground. It was sort of
and then suddenly exploded at their feet. It's very odd.
Like a little bowling ball. But yeah, it did a lot of damage at least. Ooh. Impulse. He's crisp. He is left on 2 HP, however. And the Molotov might be able to fully block him off as they push their way up.
They have no idea that he's out. Fraser, that flash has completely blocked him. Very awkward tail, but thankfully does 2 kills and damage. Max still there, trying to get the plant, should get it for free, and there's no HE nearby. This is still a winnable round, though. Thomas, full head armor. Only CZ, though, however. Could do with him having the weapon instead of Max, but Max needs to make the play, I think. Try and get the intel. You're already low. But it looks a lot more defensive. They're hoping the retake comes at them instead. Here comes that info play. Unfortunately, straight into crosser, Cray and Thomas. Very unfortunate for Molden.
Yeah, Thomas ignited, forced out of the position. He can't just sit there looking pretty and wait for the push. Instead, he has to roam out. The convergence has come through. They've spotted him, and he will go down. That's the 4th round now, putting London Esports 4-0 over Team Endpoint currently.
So Frey's obviously building on that this round. He got 4 kills there, 5 since. Cray doing the same, 6 kills as well. So Impulse picking up the AWP is the big thing, right? So obviously the first 5 rounds I praised from last week, they were pretty solid. They had strats, close rounds. First 4, not too great so far. Hopefully it's a sign of things, you know, potentially changing. Impulse with the AWP. Hopefully it's that quick pick. Nothing available.
No, not at the minute. However, they are going for the counter boost. Link should spot this immediately. So they're just going to be walking into him.
It's so annoying when you fall to that though.
Yeah.
'Cause you're never expecting it. Like in
It is very cheeky.
in a reasonable time frame, you're not thinking that you forget it exists.
Yeah,
as well.
it comes out so rarely these days.
Do you remember
how
that clip
much
of
height
Keo
you
jumping with an AWP and getting a kill from that one?
yeah.
Was it Pug? I think. Crazy. Let's see Impulse do the reverse one. It's where you grenade, you throw your AWP in the air whilst there's a grenade going off, and it hits the ceiling, and then it shoots because it smacks the trigger.
Of course.
I don't think you've ever seen this, but it was a video that I watched from Naking.
Yeah. Top 10 tips on cash that you've never seen before.
Very worrying round though, ultimately. They lose that one player, and you can see the complete disruption on this side. Ooh!
Mighty Max.
There's 3 players on this site!
And they're burning.
There's 3 players here, so as soon as you kill one, you're thinking there might be another one. But you're not thinking for like 3.
No.
That's one of them already gone. They've seen one back left, and they know there should be a guy back right as well. Fraser's already got impact with kills.
This is really awkward for Endpoint. They're just getting annihilated there.
I liked that awkward shimmy, but
Yeah.
HE blocking him completely. But you can see the confidence of London. The fact that they had 3 players in that bomb site, obviously it was based off maxing in that kills was highway, you can see him going towards vent. The process, obviously, you're not going to sit CT or upper, you're stuck, you shouldn't bother with that, you will get smoked off most likely. But Endpoint, they're straight in with another buy. Obviously, the full loss bonus, there was no plant though. This needs to be huge. Ooh, doesn't do as much as I thought though, again.
I think it was
It's deceiving.
slightly too far back, yeah. It's unfortunate. It looks like it was going to just chunk their health down instantly.
In all fairness though, if you have an AUG, that's guaranteed headshot, insta-kill, no matter what range, pretty much, yeah. Same thing pretty much for an M4. Obviously, it's about 89 damage.
Yeah. So it does
AUG
help.
does more as well, definitely. The double A main play comes up beautifully. Fraser has a smoke as well, so he can cover his own back if he needs to. Instead opts to smoke A main. Looks for backup from the CT squadron at CT truck.
Right. Ship walking in. Maybe Anne is going to be dropped. It's all on Pulse. Swings wide in towards Cray again. It's just the AUG that are doing damage. Since they've changed to London Esports, Ben, it's like they've adapted the meta of the London Esports just AUG buys.
I mean, also you got to thinking, Fraser and Cray show right now.
Yeah. Yeah, for the most part, they're giving it.
Fraser, yeah, Cray.
There you go. That's what
Doesn't
Sonny
quite
would
work,
say.
does it?
Yeah.
Another buy from Endpoint. When do you decide to just take the hit? Like, it looks like there's going to be a strat play this time at the very least. You can see, I think it's Max lining up a smoke already. Oh, if that nade went in, it would have done a lot to Impulse. He was right at the entrance. So Max lining up that one smoke. And they've missed the A main smoke as well. It's a panic of grenades thrown towards A main so far this round. So the one smoke will come over, smoke towards highway as well, so it's deep. It's actually the strat that I saw them use last week, right? So the issue before was Impulse ran through this smoke with his pistol last time. And he was unable to get anything done because he didn't expect the first either.
Look how many tags they've got off though. And Endpoint are just already pretty bloodied and bruised. Fraser! You were talking about his confidence. He just ran straight in towards the site and started slaughtering them with the AK.
Oh, there's Molly. We need to move very quickly.
Thomas through the smoke.
He's doing a lot of damage.
He is really ripping people to shreds, but he can't actually find the conversion into a frag, and that's going to be a 7th round picked up. Fraser just charging in. Think of
That's crazy.
He's mental.
Like, he was already being quite egregious with his jump spot over the white box anyway. When the smoke's there, I feel like if most players do that, you get shot mid-air when you're doing it. He does that, gets away with it, and then charges through and kills 2.
Yeah.
That's crazy. 7-0. I was saying, I was worried to start with about the whole, what side do Endpoint start on? And you tricked me saying CT. And then they started C, 7-0 down, ultimately. Ooh, side coming through. Oh no, Impulse completely got off guard. No chance for the trade either. Potentially if Pulse gets the kill here, he's not heard him run away. There should be a way with it for 3.
So 7-0 right now. London just adding to this each and every round. I mean, this very well possibly could be an 8.
Look at that confidence, though. Who sits on top of the quad?
I know.
Like, when you're peeking A main, you're not expecting a man to be peeking that angle when there's a smoke in front of the door as well.
It's like people have found the key to being Endpoint of just play really confident.
Ridiculously aggressive.
Yeah, and just don't respect, like, the actual style of CS. Don't actually play, like, slow, methodical CS. Don't play into their hands at all. Just push them. Just take aim battles.
It's what happens when you're used to playing like
European
2-3 European teams, right? Because they all play a very set style, and instead, they're getting surprised by this because they usually expect UK players to be much more afraid of them.
Yeah.
That's not the case so far. 7-0. They're losing a lot of health all the way in here. And Mezzy, rough one, but Link doesn't care. 1 HP, still alive. Bomb down. Max on his own 1v5. Shouldn't really be able to get anything done here. He'll get that first kill, but you got to think that's just a consolation at this point. Nice. He was just getting spammed without being seen for ages.
Yeah. Just shots coming in from everywhere.
I'm surprised we saw another tactical at some point. Otherwise, they might meet their endpoint.
Good one. Good one, there you go.
25 kills between Fraser and Craig.
Yeah, madness.
Endpoint of 15 between them all. Not particularly,
Fraser and Craig are very, very effective right now.
So they finally take the hit. They did actually go for a half buy. I don't know why the force buy kept on coming in. You can see the bank on that London have got. They've got plenty of money. It's not like you're fighting the attrition. Like the first 12 rounds last week, for example, it was what, back and forth, still 6-6? Or at least in the Revelation game, actually, with Endpoint.
Yeah.
That made sense. This, not so much. They're finally deciding we'll take the hit. We'll probably go down 9-0, but we need to get into this game.
Yeah, they can't just afford to keep force buying back into it and then seeing if something is going to stick. At a certain point, you've got to cut your losses. Because they've already lost way too many rounds here. Cray, another tag off onto Impulse, leaving him with just 73 HP.
The crazy thing is, this is one of those rounds that you feel like you do lose on the CT side. Like, it's much harder, I feel, at least personally, to face a half buy with pistols than a full buy. Because people play it very differently. They're much more aggressive, much more movement-based as well. Oof. Very good kill to find.
And those deagles at times can just absolutely shred people.
Fraser's position is key here if the actual is A. But it looks like it's going to be B. Actually, Max has walked all the way into B. So what's CT right now? Link, no idea, but there is a player at back check. Is Mezzy's going to be caught by the player in Ben? They get him regardless. Both players on site, and that's Max with a big kill again. 2v3. This is very doable. Pulse as well. Another good lurk from them. But the CZ at this range, not great. Not great at all. He needs to get closer and find his chance. The worrying thing is if Fraser were to turn around randomly here. Oh no!
He's whiffed it, Ben.
He's found an AUG, thankfully, though. But their retake, they must just charge in. Max holding the angle, gets the kill. Should be their first round of the board.
It was a windy day for Pulse. It's not ideal. Fraser, and I wonder if this is 2 so low, though. And finally, Max will get a round on the board as he kills him on the cross.
So 11 kills for Max. Next nearest is 3 on Endpoint. Kind of worrying, but ultimately it's what, I remember I always make this point about games that are quite one-sided in the Prem. Typically, if they reach around 3-4 rounds and then lose 16-4, it's usually backed by one player having a very solid 2, 3, maybe 4 kill round. That needed Max to get a 4K, for reference. He's had a lot of bomb plants as well, 30 score. Max is the bomb planter in all fairness. That is his regular duty.
That's his defined role.
Yeah.
Support player / bomb planter / team maker. Originally that was Jake. And then Max took over.
Sure. So still an easy round in terms of economy for London. They're not too panicked about it. They've got a pretty solid buy available to them, even if they were to lose this one. But a much slower round from Endpoint. But you see the point I made last round where it feels a bit harder to play against the half buys because you're not really sure because they make all kinds of different plays at the same time. Max going lurking towards B, Pulse doing the same thing at A. Very hard to deal with. Question is what would be the end goal here. So Max probably going to be setting a fake off towards this site. CT smoke will come in from him. I imagine it'll be a headshot molly perhaps as well. So that comes in. Link. Not really getting rid of the molly, I'll tell you that. But it's forcing the rotate from Adam. But surely they've got the info, there's nothing actually being pushed through here. Fraser ready on this angle.
Fraser.
He's got all of his grenades too.
Yeah, he's been so crisp.
No. Oh, that's... What's that for? Well, he's got the kill.
Okay.
I'm just confused about the smoke.
Yeah, it was a whole bit of a kerfuffle there and doing multiple different things at once, but we do see the kill come through. Instant trade back. For Endpoint,
Look how low they
got a
are.
lot of damage in their health, yeah. Thomas down to 68, Max just on 4, 16 for Impulse. Set up into their post-plant positions. It's a 3 versus 4. They do have utility to play with, the offensive grenades, but the net snap there. That's the save called.
Oh.
That's
the
not what you
Impulse,
want.
maybe typing there. Oh.
That's not ideal.
And Adam was getting into a position where he could completely destroy that round there for Endpoint. So the save for 2 players will come through. Around primarily, I don't know, I feel like the ultimate thing was Fraser, his decision making in terms of what he was planning to do at quad, right? 30 seconds on the clock, you still have all your grenades, which is fantastic. If you're quad, you can hold the angle, you can then get rid of that molly, you can delay loads. Instead, you know, the smoke went everywhere, the Molotov did come through as well, it was a bit concerning, all in all. But still 8-2, they're still in a very good position. Should be a buy still as well. And it's a very healthy one like that as well. 4 orgs and the AWP still in play.
The genuine London strategy.
Literally,
Coming through, yeah. Nade's going to hit him right on the head. Fraser defending towards mid with the AWP. Hungry for a pick to come his way. But the T's are mostly grouping up over by boost. Once again, Ben. It will be the battle of the AWPers towards mid. Impulse. He's been hitting some tasty shots, but can he hit the consistent one here in the battle of the AWPs?
It's going to be some AWP on org crime. Potentially at mid here. So Cray's holding that very aggressive angle. I don't think Impulse will go beyond this angle. It feels like they're waiting for some kind of pick to be available to them, but London, they've got a very nice setup in mid right now. They don't need to go for that. Fraser's got another floor. Cray's got the run out. It's great for them. The only time we might see a change is if there is some sort of execute coming through. However, they just use a lot of grenades. They force him out with the vents fully. But Mezzi gets all those back checkers. We're down to 45 seconds left. Look how many grenades London still have. There seems to be no end goal in mind right now from the seaside. It's going to be very late out mid. Sound cues will come through for Fraser as well. If he's towards highway, he can hear that noise of the heavy at mid. 30 seconds.
This grenade could be effective. Ooh. Chucked out a bit too early there.
Still at the Molotov.
Max.
The fact that Max got upper is kind of crazy.
Made noise on the ladder, so he should be detected. Will be spotted out. Adam somehow gets the adjustment back around with the flick as well onto Pulse. AVN looking like he's had a bit of a crumble there towards mid, so no real effect coming out from him. With Impulse, the only remaining T-side player,
Look
they
at
are
the swarm.
charging at him.
Was that after time? That was awfully close to it.
Yeah. That's cash.
2,300. I think it was. Right. Because he'll have had like 3,500 from last round because the bomb exploded. He'll have spent money on grenades, at most 1,400. And then lost bonus would be 1,400, so... Yeah, he got 2 kills, so that's 3,700. Yeah, so he probably did die after time. Literally the half second though is awfully close.
As it hit. Which is very unlucky.
But a very rogue round though, because ultimately you think about that entire round, there was clearly no set idea what do we want to do. You just get impulse and boost, he doesn't get a pick, he doesn't get a chance to get a pick, without going too out there for it. You reach, what, 45 seconds left, you kind of have to make a call of some kind. You try and go towards A. Adam holds you back very well, Fraser gets that opening kill too. Not very inspiring, I think, is the way I'd probably describe the T side thus far.
Just kind of doing stuff for the sake of it. There's no real...
Yeah, there's no inspiration behind why we're doing this. It's because of them playing like this. It's all just, well, we can do this. Which is not really... It's not the ideal way of like thinking about things on the T side. That's usually when you don't have any idea of what kind of setups they're using either. Impulse is trying his hardest to get some kind of kill. 3 HP! Blinks got the dink.
Yeah, really had to fight tooth and nail for that one, though. Craig gonna get the kill over onto Mighty Max. Mezzy holding, waiting for the push to come through. Pulse casts out the molly towards the site.
Adam's got a flash ready. But Mezzy, ooh. Rough fight. Yeah,
it's a bit awkward. I mean, Pulse is just cracking skulls in. And they're sprinting their way over on towards the bomb site. They can try and go for the plant. They're carrying it on impulse. Some of the shots he's landed with this AWP are ridiculous. Just harpooning people out of the server then.
The worry here is, this was a 4v3. They didn't really get a chance to support Mezzy. They're going to have to try and push in. Impulse should have this angle covered. Even more so, Impulse is here as well. That's an interesting decision.
Bit awkward there. Not really the way you want to play that.
If Adam gets damaged down, this is a very solid round to do it. If you guys stop both players escaping the site, it'd be really good.
Yeah.
And you keep the AWP perhaps, a great idea.
Break their money whilst also putting yourself into a better position.
Yeah. But ultimately, I can't help but feel like London should have done better, right? As soon as Mezzy was stuck in pit, you've got to react to it. You need to get involved there. Because he's left on his own now. He loses the firefight. There is no trade possibility. 9-3. Still another buy for London. Endpoint hanging in right now. I believe they have, however, one more 2 rounds this week than they did last.
They do.
It was 2 last week.
Yeah. Which is a lot better. Obviously, Cash normally quite a cursed map for them.
Yes.
Anything's an improvement at that point.
So Cray's been allowed to push through that hallway. They've re-smoked as well, so masking that potential idea. Thomas, just regular spam mid through. Cray, he hears the reload. Might catch Thomas off guard here. And he will. Very nice kill to find. But Impulse, will he try and force this trade? He'll get the kill on the Link. He's going further. Not a very needed play though, ultimately.
No, that's rough. That would have been a pretty tasty shot to hit as well, though. By no means.
Oh, that spread.
Easiest. That spread very quickly. The tick going to chunk down his health. Cray melts in the fire.
So B is the end goal. Max toward B. He must have not heard much on this site. Mezzy not even in the site to begin with either. He knows Max could have walked in. He's done it before. Question is, will Mezzy play for the retake? We've already seen them play for retake once. It didn't work out for them. But the flash is coming through. The rotate should be arriving relatively quickly as well. And there's a gap here for him to watch. No chance whatsoever that they do cross that angle though. But they're all towards site. This is kind of concerning. Pulse does get himself off the bomb site, realizing we did have 3 players there. He needs to get out of that. So Adam actually is going to commit to the full rotate around towards CT/upper. That's kind of an interesting decision. I mean, Pulse is also going to be concerned. He'll be thinking B main primarily for the actual rotate.
Yeah.
They've got 2 smokes. Same smoke we used as before. Maybe this time there's no swap of gun as they come in. Instead it's nuking kill, and Avian needs to do it all.
He goes down though. It's all up to Pulse. He's already been tagged through the smoke, so he's going to be quite low. The double face came. There was a scenario where potentially that could have gone very awkward for them. However, they do take the firefight towards Pulse as a unit. They beat him down. And London, they get a 10th round on the board, taking it 10-3 now as we get into round 14. Looking very effective.
I did like the move from Fraser this time. So obviously we saw that last round where he did run in, kind of switch his gun.
But yeah, grabs the M4.
Instead, but this time, before the smoke blooms, he quick peeks that left-hand corner. He gets the kill, and just as the smoke blooms, he can't be traded. Pulse can't see him at all. Really nice move around. Mezzy with an MP9 here, potentially thinking that their money's worse than it actually is. I saw 4 head armors minimum there. Potentially a full BXX coming in here. So Mezzy did spot AVN. Like, it is a weak buy ultimately, you got to be thinking that. Here comes the XX though. 1 flash delaying them quite a bit. London Link's taking a lot of damage.
They're spamming into the smokes as well, being able to find these players on the site. Link. Max just diving towards him.
That's going to be a save.
Yeah, looks like they are going to call it quits, play for the next round.
A very awkward round though, ultimately, because obviously Mezzi did spot one of those players towards Sunroom. However, the execute, they were already lined up ready. So as soon as that contact came through, just go.
Yeah.
And maybe if Link doesn't take as much damage on the site, he might play it differently. He was kind of concerned. He was, what, 33 HP, I think it was?
Yeah, he's went down somewhere on there.
So he was kind of forced into an issue where he needed to kind of try and play a bit sneaky. Do they know Impulse is in? They must know now. That flash is perfect though, but Fraser gets the kill regardless.
Oh, this save isn't going too amazingly though. Oh no, Pulse should be able to clean the house out, and he will. 3 frags found, saves the AWP. Can pass that back over to Impulse. And Endpoint get themselves a 4th. At least they're starting to get some kind of momentum there, making it slightly closer than the stark contrast it initially had.
10-4 though. And this is the first round we've seen from London where they've not had a full buy. Ultimately, that just shows the true scale of their CT economy when they were winning all those rounds in a row. They were clean, clinical. So Adam puts that smoke in just as the boy comes through, thankfully. And that nade, unfortunately, doesn't go through. This boost could be huge, depending on how loud their volume is. You've just got 2 free kills! If you wanted to, you could probably smoke it and delay even longer, but instead they make an extra play. Fraser gets that kill too. Very concerning. And Max, he's probably wondering what on earth's happened.
Yeah, in that like second of time for everyone to just die.
This is still doable though. I mean, if you catch Fraser off, not so much.
It would normally be a max round, those sort of situations, but that just was not one of them.
So 11-4, they lose to that the one round where London do not have a full buy. They're caught off guard by the boost. Great 2 kills found by Quay, obviously. We'll credit to him for that. But from there, you know, ultimately things just went completely, you know, off the radar, I guess.
Yeah.
For them, they just completely lost control of what was going on. It was very hectic, I imagine, comms-wise, with like, there's somebody behind, then they all turn, then they have people shooting the other side as well. 11-4 though. Going to the CT zone, Endpoint, their CT was very good last week. Is 4 rounds enough though? I feel like they
if they lose pistol, then no.
Yeah. That's the worry, right? Actually, the worst case scenario in my mind is you win pistol, you then lose 3 in a row or something, right? Because that reset is horrendous.
Yeah, the amount of money you would then be left with for those rounds would just be awful. It's not the dream.
Not quite, but in terms of not the dream though, I mean, Thomas had quite a slow game as well. So normally on his T sides, he's usually the player we look to. Like, he's usually that first man into the site. If he gets the first shot, chances are he's probably taking the kill.
I don't know if they've sort of
changed how he what role
they've moved a little bit of spotlight away from him. More so because now they've got AVN, not AVN with Impulse, and they want to try and utilise Impulse in that sort of role to be quite aggressive.
I think he's almost such a good player though, that's the thing. He's such a good mechanically gifted player.
He's incredible. And it's also just, he will just sprint at you and you will
he's
die.
Got the confidence for
so
that.
Why would you not use that for that?
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy one, but ultimately you got to be thinking, will they have any issues on the CT side? Right, because in their minds they're probably thinking back to last week. Some of them might be annoyed at how the T side started off for them as well, and how some of the straps were going, some of the plays obviously going through. Can they actually pull this off in the CT is a different question entirely. There's also the side of things where, how good is London's T side, right? Because this is technically their #1 map, worth noting, because again, as we mentioned earlier on, Endpoint did not submit a veto. Well, they didn't submit their list, rather.
So cash is just what we got taken to straight off the back, which would only mean that it was their #1 pick this week.
Yeah. So that's kind of concerning, right? Because you've obviously, you know, the overall map would not be considered CT-sided.
Yeah.
This is one of the only maps that was not changing with everything else. Like, this still held a pretty decent 8-7, 9-6 sort of area for the T side. Every other map was complete other side, 10-5 plus. Nevertheless, here we go though. 2 sets of grenades being bought by London on Mezzi and Adam.
Okay.
And Impulse has a full set of grenades as well. So it's an interesting pistol being played out by Endpoint here. Quite rare to have 2 sets. I believe London did the same thing as well.
It's weird to see Impulse not having like armor as well. Or,
yeah. So I guess the grand scheme of things, based on the positioning, you've seen Pulse in Z, just kind of spotting mid, Impulse at B, basically in CT. But if you're playing retake on B, that's pretty scary. Like if you keep both smokes, great. You can smoke off checkers, you can smoke off the entrance to B main, and then you can retake from there. But that means you're going to be pushing through in narrow choke points against blocks, which is, you know, a very difficult thing to go for.
Oh yeah, it's normally quite an awful task if you try and run their way up in towards the bomb site. They've now been detected. They know it's a play towards B. Ooh. Yeah, this is going to be a sour one. 50 seconds on the clock as the bomb goes down. As the CTs prepare themselves for this attack.
So the smokes are set. That'll be the checkers one coming through, B main one coming through. How good are these flashes then? They need to be perfect. Adam's in such a good spot here. If he's watching the other side of it.
Oh
my God,
no!
None of them are going through!
It's so awkward. I mean, he eventually gets a couple of kills from it, but it didn't really work out the way he wanted it to. And London,
that's the issue.
they win that round.
You're going through a narrow choke point. You're against Glocks.
Yeah.
You're not getting through.
You're just running straight into your own death.
And Endpoint do force into it. All things considered, they did have a round that did go their way when they did force in. Pause does come through though. Question is who will it be for, because at Endpoint I can't imagine that there's much to talk about in CT, so I wouldn't do force buy. Unless you're going to go for a specific 3-player push towards, you know, 2 through door, 2 through main, 3B, something like that.
Yeah, it's a technical pause for London.
Ash's mic broke.
Probably.
He can't tell Fraser Molly back plant. I really enjoyed that video.
Yeah.
Because you could see Ash going, what
are you doing? That's pretty funny. Well, 12-4. A reasonably one-sided game so far. These things do happen with Endpoint. On Cash, it's a map that historically, unless everyone's just performing very well individually, they really, really struggle.
Well, that's the worry you face, though, isn't it, right? Because I would predominantly say Cash is an aim map.
Yeah.
Like, if you've got very good aim, you know the map very well, you're probably going to succeed on it. And this game, Endpoint are struggling on that department, right? Thomas not having a great game. We haven't seen much from other players other than Max, really. Impulse had some flashy rounds here and there with his AWP, which, fair enough, he did have some good kills with it. But otherwise, there's not really much else to go off. We are back into it, though. So, ultimately, look at the force play. So, it's 5 smokes. That's going to be the key thing. 1 smoke's already used immediately at mid. How will London react into this? Will they just go with a set, you know, anti-eco strat, which is typically towards A for most teams? They'll molly out quad MBK, smoke off highway, flash the site, make the Mac 10s jump around the corner, be as annoying as you can. But instead, you can see the stack's already been kind of made. Like, Max is the one player towards B. He's trusting it, saying, you guys do that, I'll stay this side.
Okay, gonna go for the boost back up.
So they're doing the opposite thing. So they've all used their smokes towards A, and they're hoping we'll do the classic rotate off, rotate off, rotate off thing. Like the cycle. The classic that used to be on the old Inferno, if you remember correctly, from Arch, you could smoke banana.
Yeah, the big old throw over. Well, they show a little bit of skin towards mid, so Pulse now has a read believing that they might try and go for a mid burst from what he's seen. In reality, they all set up and they detonate out towards the A site. AVN lit on flyer there by King Mezzi, on fire rather than being lit on a flyer. Thomas with a deagle! 3 kills, Ben, as he saves the round.
And so that's the classic disruption where there's a bit of chaos when you're trying to get towards that site. You've only got the 1 flash available to you when you're trying to get onto the site. You use the flash and your players were not close enough to take advantage of it. Which means, in an ideal world, you have a second flash on that player, great. However, in that situation, there was a lot of havoc, there wasn't really much time to organise that situation. Thomas is able to get free reign, 3 kills, and suddenly, game on. In my mind, at the very least.
We'll have to wait and see, because you never know. London with some deagles can still pack a punch in this scenario.
Don't forget as well, a lot of back and forth rounds that happened last week as well. And the previous times we've seen Endpoint on the CT side, whether it was against Revelation too. You can see how heavy this B presence is from them as well. Like, there's a concern on that B side.
Yeah,
that was one of the target points last week.
scared about losing control of that B site over and over again, so playing very defensively by it.
So they're willing to play Avian on the site, but he's very ready to pull away from that bomb site completely. A will be the play, but again, you can see it's a very defensive setup across the board. Like, they're ready to pull away from that bomb site and allow someone to just, you stay there, get as many kills as you can, essentially, right? So smoke towards highway comes through, the flash is already coming. There's 2 players stuck on the corner to the site, but it's a very interesting decision because you're not dedicating fully to either option. Like, that's a very weird one. 2 for 2. On the T side, you've got the bomb plant. You're thinking, great. If we can hold this back, fantastic. But they've already lost 1 player.
This is awkward. It's a 2 versus 3. London. They need Mezzi and Co to start landing these deagle shots if they are going to win this round. It's all going to be precise. There's no actual full-fledged firearms that close by to them that they can scavenge. He's lost a teammate now, and it's all on Mezzi with the deagle. Bare hit and misses. 1 single chest shot off there on the end towards Pulse, trying to delay for as long as physically possible. They did have a kit on both players, and that will be the defuse, giving Endpoint a 6th round.
Yeah, not much proactiveness coming out from the actual T-side players there. It felt like in the afterplant, obviously you're losing a player very early into the afterplant, you're kind of concerned anyway. But like, for example, Cray, he was taking so much attention at Forklift. He had no armor, he had a CZ. Tough situation to be in, obviously. But Mezzi, he didn't try and take initiative and try and force something. When he probably needed to. You're already a man down. So not a force by this time for London. Just some pistols here and there. And obviously only the 1 flash to work with.
Mezzi with 1 HP. Trying to sell the idea of this being a play towards the A side, but just causing some ruckus. They spam back to hit him if they can, but there is no connection through the wall. 6 to 12. These rounds mean so much. They need to try and lock him down. And Thomas is on a bit of a roam. He's a hungry, hungry hippo, Ben.
It's worth noting as well, he actually doubled his kills with that 3k with the defense. But it's a very unusual, poor game from him. Looking like he's trying to rectify that though, so far. Trying to get involved as much as he can. With a USP as well. No bullets in the org right now, but if they were able to get onto that bomb site, a plant would be kind of crazy here. Adam has not properly made it across, so he does fall as well. So it's 12 to 7. London will be in with a bye. Ultimately, you've lost 1 player on the CT side. Not actually that bad, all things considered. So again, I might as well reiterate the circumstances, obviously. If Endpoint were to win, the highest they can go up to is 2nd, depending on no matter what the other result is.
Yeah.
If they were to lose, though, that's where it gets a bit weird, because they do not know. If they lose, they don't know if they're in relegations or if they go into playoffs. It's a very awkward situation to be in.
Yeah, they'd have to wait and find out from the other games, which makes it very, very awkward.
So this could be a very nice burst strat. They have not heard that boost coming in.
Surely they would clear it though on the way.
If it's a burst strat, fairly unlikely. You're not going to be checking up there. First kill comes through. Avian only gets the 1. Some damage through as well, though. Thomas, he's already done very well in this A-bomb plate once. Looking to make even more.
Ooh, no, not today.
Ooh.
Oh, Thomas is silenced as Fraser.
And Max, you won't expect a player to be this close.
He's removing lips.
Fraser's on
the
a
spray
tear.
down. I know, another 3k.
I think as he killed him, he shouted, "Shut up, bro."
26 kills. He probably did. He probably did. 26 kills to 9 deaths. Having a bit of a slap base of a game.
I mean, see the buy. Even though Endpoint, they were pretty clean on that eco round, or the anti-eco, they did win. The fact that they still lost a player, they had to rebuy a lot of grenades. You can see 2 players now in MP9s because they wanted to get some utility in. The open impulse is available, but it's not exactly a healthy buy across the board.
It's one that is going to affect the playstyle a little bit as well. They might need to play a little bit aggressive, try and get up close and personal with those MP9s, which is kind of what we're seeing. Ooh, the support of crossfire towards mid, and 1 MP9 waiting to rain some terror on the egg site. As they do converge into him, AVN will get the first. 20 bullets left to punish with. Oof, there's the tray coming in. Impulse. Actually through the smoke, picking up everyone, just spamming away, Ben. There was the timeline where that actually connected onto Link, who was planting the bomb through the smoke as well. And it could have been even more awkward. Nice use of the grenades to tag him up. Start to bag him as well.
Link could be the huge play here. If he were to throw his flashbang, he might be huge, but he's got to one anyway. But surely not the focus player as well. Impulse with the AWP, he was so concerned about peeking and he just runs into it anyway.
Yeah.
So afraid of peeking, trying to get that trade. Didn't trust himself with the USP, the quick scope, anything like that. And look at Endpoint's money. It's just not there at all.
No.
14-7. Looking at a very tough spot for them. They're potentially facing, you know, arguably a point where they go to relegations even, depending on the game later. Like, that's a crazy one. From finishing second last season, winning the season before that, and suddenly relegations.
Yeah, it could really happen. And it wouldn't be that much of a shock, really, considering how things have actually looked for him that season, this season. It's not been great. Historically, probably been one of the worst Endpoint showings, really, we've had in a while.
I think mine was worse. I think we did worse.
I mean,
like I think we won one game once.
Yeah. The quality of the games, though, like, of who they've lost to, in, like, the manner of it.
It's more the shock. This season's been a bit of a general confusion for a lot of people. At least, like, the expectation-wise. But it's like teams that you don't expect to do well, suddenly doing well, right? Yeah. And, you know, whether that's a testament to them being really good or the other players not expecting to be, you know, battled as well as they have been.
And actually have to put up a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is definitely a potential little spicy affair. It is the B-side defense, though, one man, Max.
You can tell he's already willing to take this call of, I'll flash it as if we're playing it. I was planning to walk off, but as soon as that molly came in, he's kind of changed his mind. But he's got no nades to work with. He has to kind of go crazy at them here. And I don't think he's got enough bullets.
Ooh, no, he couldn't even have the opportunity there to get that initial kill. Sprints in, tags up Cray, gets him fairly low, but that's it. There's no trade potential. There's nothing that his teammates can do. In reality, they're probably just going to have to kind of play this one out for OT now. And, well, there is none. It would be the draw, because it's the league format.
Pretty sure it goes OT.
Was there OT? Maru told us there was no OT before.
Did he?
Yeah.
Huh.
Where is OT?
It's kind of crazy.
Maru's spreading lies to me.
Huh.
Oh.
Good.
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 Good. Thanks, Maru.
Thanks, Obama.
Doing his job again. Making things up. So it would be the overtime potential.
Yeah. But that's quite a distant thought right now.
Yeah.
Really. Like, even all things considered, they played to win in regulation with that buy they've just gone for. Like, they're saving 3 Deagles with armor here. A Molotov, great. $600 value, fantastic. But ultimately, look at the money. Now, you get, like, what? Some UMPs in, I guess. You want utility on some of the players. It's just not been very good showing from them, really.
Yeah, you're kind of... you're boned, really, for that. Like, there's not... What are you going to do? The double scout, double MP9. I mean, it looks quite pretty, in the sense...
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, they've set it up quite nicely, haven't they?
Symmetry's there.
The flash, oh, she's smoke. Quite late mid-smoke to go for there. So the instant boost towards the vent. Playing 2 towards mid, well, 3 ultimately. 1 in the vent, 1 close, 1 was highway. London, are we trying to find out what kind of buy actually they're against as well? Because I don't think there's an easy way to forecast what kind of buy. You'll know 2400 loss bonus. Great, that's, yeah, you might think there's some pharmacies in play maybe. They'll find out there's just 2 scouts, MP9s. Impulse's name. It's the same thing that happened earlier. The names suddenly were massive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
See what I mean? That's crazy.
Oh, it's got quite big.
I don't understand it. Quite weird. It's been so long since I've seen like the panorama. Like,
yeah.
So I haven't seen like some of the old bugs. So it depends. Is there going to be a flash from any of these players, or is Max going to have to go through an information play on his own here?
I reckon Max gets locked in Mortal Kombat here towards the vent, to be honest with you. Ooh, peeks out, gets the first. That is at least a headshot on towards Link. Ooh, on the cross back, Cray detects him, but there is no kill.
They've got nothing to push him out of position either, is the worry. Like, he's getting ready with the flash. We're getting down to the last 35 seconds. Ooh, not ready with the flash. He was ready with the flash.
Yeah, not the flash. That ain't it, Chief.
That is not it. But it looks like A is the play. Pulse should be hearing all the sound cues. There's no rotate coming through yet. Thomas will get the first shot, miss it. Pulse gets the second kill. And it's looking very good. They're giving themselves a chance. Obviously, Fraser's still alive. Trying to just damage the economy at the very least. There's not really much he can do, if I'm more honest, though. Yeah, he risks losing more than he gains by killing them.
Ooh, someone right behind him as well. Fraser goes down. It doesn't matter. He was trapped in a rock and a hard place.
They might have knocked you up a bit too far.
Nah, they got it.
Very close, though.
Yeah, nearly.
Because imagine a situation where that grenade knocks it under the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Those steps are not...
They got little holes in
hole.
little slits.
Yeah.
So it could have gone under.
Pause comes through, I imagine that's on London side. Just to hang on a second, sort of thing. It's been a very good performance from Fraser. I did say it after the pistol. He's one of those players, you give him some momentum, and he will go on. Or rather, he will go off this game. 24 kills since then, of course.
He's been performing very well in the server right now. Hitting a large majority of shots, willing to go for confident plays.
The crazy thing is he's doing it with both rifle and AWP, right?
Yeah.
Because there was that T-round, obviously, where he got a 3K, killed the player in sight, absolutely destroyed the player at truck, and then Max not expecting him there as well. 15-8. Still a buy coming in for the London Esports guys. Somebody's not got a gun. Mezzy, go back. Nice one. Good.
Oh, at least he remembered.
There are a few of the players leaving home like, there's a gun on floor.
Yeah.
Mezzy's like, I'm merry. I'm the merry man. Smiling as he runs away.
Yeah.
It's too late. I have gone. I'm not coming back.
I have already started the adventure.
So 15-8. Endpoint. It's a hill to climb, that's for sure. If they want even a chance, right?
Mm-hmm.
A much slower round from London, though. They're ultimately playing a bit more of a slower default. 2 players under boost, on top of boost, waiting for the actual grenades to come through. So the Z smoke come through, it'll be a single set of flashes being used. He's tempting fate a bit by peeking that angle, isn't he?
Yeah. Oof.
Oh, they're planning to fight mid.
Spotted.
3 highway.
It's a big old fight. And they're actually winning it very effectively. The range favouring them with the AUG, the AK as well. A good lockdown towards mid, leaving just 2 players, Mezzy and Fraser, to try and secure the B side. It's not looking likely though, because all of a sudden it is just Mezzy that is left. Oh, and that was a messy little spray. The conversion couldn't come in. He is put down. Cash is in a fairly awkward position as well for London. This will probably be like a 10-15.
Yeah, it's looking like this should be the round where you do take it on the chin, you sapped. Okay, fine, we'll eco 1. We'll get a slightly better buy-in next round. So you got 1 smoke, 2 flashes in. And they're heading towards B, so I imagine this will actually just be a B rush, but they're running into Impulse and Max, who've arguably been the best performers on Endpoint so far. In this game at the very least.
If Impulse misses,
it could be bad news very quickly.
Yeah, if they can actually get close and overwhelm him, especially if they're going to go for a run boost.
He's got a Molotov already.
Oof. He should understand how he needs to play this.
Oh, yes. Solid.
Molotov going to be thrown out
Impulse
as well.
has given up on Max though. That's 100% guaranteed, yeah.
He has 10 HP left. They're charging in, luckily, on the reface.
No, the molly!
Pulse is so effective. Oh, he's burning though.
He blocked his teammate's molly. And Link's got an AWP. And he's got armor as well. This could be very winnable. I've seen a crazy play from this bomb site before with an AWP in his hand under force buy.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can do it.
Ooh.
1 already. Ooh, that was very close though.
That was nearly the no-scope. That would have been the connection. I mean, if you hit that, it wouldn't have been a hard push for him to actually go on to clutch it.
That's dramatic. I'm right
That
there.
was quite dramatic.
Wow.
Wow.
This one not so much.
No.
15-10 though. But they've got the plant in, obviously, that's the big thing, right? So they get the full buy across all AKs. After a round like that though, at B, surely you start thinking, it's the classic where you've nearly went around with a force buy, or like a half buy. You think, okay, let's do that on a buy, or some kind of strat towards B on a buy. And that seems to be the idea. Cray will do his usual stuff towards B, smoke the entrance, Molotov checkers. Impulse is called back by Max. If they do the VP burst, this could be very bad for them. Yep, it's going to be a single flash through it. It's not even the full burst. No smoke's coming through. Impulse dodges the flashes, but Max has already got the entrance kill.
Drops the molly out. Link has traded it back onto Impulse at the very least. Max as well on the site is being tagged up. Max jumps into the elevated angle, Ben exposes himself. It's a 4 versus 3 into the round. The flashbang will keep the response squad at bay.
Look how low they are.
This is awkward for either side here.
And they've already dedicated to this being a CT/upper retake. If Link can get his grenades off, he could delay this a lot. But that, speaking of delaying, this Molotov, that's probably going to kill Gray.
Oh, there we go. Hit right on him. Set him up on fire. Someone else has to now go back towards the site, grab the bomb and try and plant it at a certain point. You got 45 seconds left on the clock. Thomas, it was almost a free frag for him, but I don't think he
Good nade.
was quite aware. That's a big nade, actually.
So it's not your regular plant, it's worth noting here. So Fraser, still 100 health. He's been having a very good game so far. The flash does fully get him, but he's just stood in the smoke right now. Flashes the entrance, and he gets a free kill too. No trade potential. He's just facing everything. Look at him.
That's madness. Fraser, he's been having such an impressive performance on this map. Just looking like a lunatic.
Oh. And Messi white swings him to take the victory. So Endpoint, they're going to have to wait and rely on that last game of the day to find out if they're even potentially taking place in the playoffs or not.
That's rough. That's a horrible position to be in. We've seen it a few times where Endpoint will get into a scenario where they have to wait and see someone else decide their fate for them. They can't do it themselves. Fraser are just a meme machine, pure stopping power during those games, Ben.
It is nice to see a lot of the people who we prominently consider to be like AWPers pick up the rifle every now and then, right? So obviously Lazza, he's the same sort of player. He's really crisp with a rifle. But I think it's just we're so used to seeing them with an AWP, right? We just don't expect it.
Yeah.
Fraser, a fantastic game. He needed that momentum, and he got it immediately. He started the game so strong and carried it on the whole way.
Smashed it in the end. Strength from strength there, really, with some of the shots he was hitting. Definitely proved he's hitting that skill cap. It's good to see the improvements were there. That is a pretty big upset win, though, again, for London over Endpoint. Endpoint this season for them has been really rough.
Yeah, I mean, that win for London, at the very least, guarantees that they're second or third.
Yes.
No matter what. So obviously, they'll finish third if Pensioners win, second if Revelation win, due to the simple facts around there. But if Pensioners take the win later, we're going to be seeing Endpoint in the relegations.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy side.
It's an odd one. We're an organisation that's been there for quite some time now. Big players as well. It would certainly be a bit of a shock if that brand was to dissipate from the Prem at this point. But there you have it, the victory for London Esports over Endpoint. We have our third game of the night coming up next. Should be Fierce Esports versus CEX. We'll see you with that one after break.